Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we grow up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Freddie, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Welcome. It is Memorial Day hangover.
It is major, is all I can tell you.
What is major?
Major, hard to get back to work after a 3-day weekend is all I can tell you.
It's the same difference. Everybody in here slept in at least one day, I hope. One day.
What do you consider sleeping at?
2 o'clock.
What?
No.
You did? Yeah. If I make it till 8:30, that's sleeping in.
Yeah, I went to bed at 1, but then I woke up at 9.
Wow.
12 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours there.
Anybody
That's
else?
impressive.
I've been bedridden for like a week.
What is wrong with you?
She went to Disney World.
Okay.
What's wrong with you?
I was sick. Yeah, I just had like a really bad like cold and cough.
Like I told you, it's going to be one of those days today.
Just relax.
Ever wake up and have one of those days that you should really go home and just not have the day? That's my day today so far.
He just started.
Exactly, and now I've got coffee all over
You
me.
still got
That
it.
went with the lab that had an hour wait and had an appointment. Then the computer broke, and anyway.
Spilled coffee on me too, so.
Yep.
I'll go get you guys some straws. That's okay, don't worry about
It's
it.
okay.
Don't do that.
It
It's
doesn't
okay,
matter
darling.
anymore.
I don't see any stains.
Anyway, how was Disney for you?
Oh, it was such a blast.
Yeah, and then you got sick.
No, it had nothing to do with Disney.
Really? It was just coincidental?
It turns out one of my a few days later, I went over to one of my friends' house, and their sister happened to have something that we didn't know about, and a few days later, I ended up like getting like a bad cough, and I was like bedridden for a week.
How do you feel now?
I feel much better now.
Good. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
It's great to be back.
What you got?
No, I was gonna say I put the tips on the library and all that. But I was at Silver Ball yesterday.
How was
like
it?
6 to 12. I'm exhausted because I went with my mom, stepdad, and little sister, and I guess my stepdad played all those games back in the 80s. All those pinball machines. They had like track and field, centipede.
Centipede, I remember.
Yeah, they had all those stuff. So he was like just
He's
not wanting to leave.
I just remember Pac-Man.
He has too much gain and he's too long. You gotta raise the slider and turn the.
And who, Josh?
Josh.
Did Nikki go with you?
No, she didn't go with me yesterday. It was just family.
How was everyone's weekend?
Too much gain.
No, mine was same old usual.
Yours was good? Anything besides Pinball Museum?
No, it was very relaxing though, Saturday and Sunday.
Everyone needed a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
Get caught up on stuff?
Sat home, worked out, read. That's about it.
Nice. How about you?
I visited my grandpa, hung out with
Ciao.
some friends,
Too much
went
gain.
out to Sarasota, downtown
Button on the
Sarasota, and just hit up a few bars down there.
That's right. You went over to the West Coast.
Yeah,
It was nice. How was the weather?
it was all right. It was not too rainy, a little windy, but yeah, nothing. It was all right.
What's happening with the hurricane repair? Did you get some footage?
I have some. but yeah, we'll see if it's enough. Yeah.
Apparently, hurricane season starts on Thursday again.
Is it still bad over there in Sanibel and all those?
Is it
areas?
over? How is it?
They're still rebuilding everything. There's still like garbage and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, they're doing good. They're
It got
rebuilding.
bad devastation. People don't realize because you don't see it in the media that it takes time to rebuild lives like that again. But your granddad's okay?
Yeah, he's good.
Were you there during the storm or were you here?
I was here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, but think about not just the west coast of Florida, where the United States can fund all that stuff, but like places like Haiti, Cuba,
Right.
Puerto Rico that have gotten hit real bad too, and they don't have much funds either.
Remember?
I got a phone call from Puerto Rico. They said that they got no funds. Apparently, everybody's just,
What's happening with your house? It lost dirt last year during the hurricane.
they fixed them little by little.
Oh, they did.
Oh, not the dirt. The dirt is still an issue. But
Little
can
by
I do?
little. Step by step.
it's funny, with all the devastation, you would think I had landfill, right? I wasn't the only one. So they've been using all the debris to fill up places all over the place.
Isn't that amazing? You use the debris and that becomes landfill. We got a big mount here that they could probably ship some over down in Pompano. That Mount Trashmore, we could just put it on like a freighter and just ship it over. I mean,
I
you
can
guys
see
use
what
it as
kind of day we're
landfill.
going to have today.
That place is kind of cool. I drove past it for the first time about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's cool. What's cool
It's
about
cool.
it?
I
It's a
don't know, we
garbage
don't have a mountain
landfill.
I know, but we don't have a mountain in Florida, so that's like our scenic view.
What, the garbage pit?
Yeah.
The garbage smell, the
Not
methane?
the smell, but the looks of it. Yeah.
It looks like the garbage fill. How was your weekend?
It was good. I went to work and then I went to my grandma's house for a barbecue.
Nice.
And like we went with a lot of my cousins, and it was kind of fun because I'm the one who doesn't speak the language, so I'm just like vibing. Or they're all like arguing. They're all getting
What
really,
language?
It's Haitian Creole, and like they're all getting really really drunk, and they're like yelling at each other and arguing like, Mom, what are they saying? And they're arguing about like what happened because Haiti has a lot of gangs, and how my cousins they would just get used to it. They would drive by, and there'd be like gunshots going back and forth, and they would just kind of have to like stay still, or like how like sometimes the gangs like they would have to just like be cool with them. So like if someone walked up to you, you'd hand them a little money, and then they would leave you alone. And then if the kids walked up to you, like you had to be cool with the kids because you don't know what kids are part of what gang. So you'd also hand them money and be nice. And how would they like walk through? And then they were arguing about, oh, you can't trust thugs. And the other girl was like, yes, you can. If you pay them off, you can trust them. And it was funny because they're arguing.
If you pay off the thugs, you can trust them. Well, that's teaching a really good message. Don't you think?
But that's what they're arguing about when they're in Haiti. So I don't know. It was just fun to like listen to what they were saying and the experience.
Crazy. How about you, Dylan? How's your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was very relaxing, which is all you can really ask for on a long weekend.
That is true.
Watch a lot of TV.
I think everyone needed a day off to
Exactly.
regroup.
I had 3 days off.
Not really, because Saturday I just always trying just to overcome Monday through Friday. So Saturday for me is always a wash. Because I'm so tired by the time I leave here on Fridays that by Saturday.
But you don't do anything Saturday. You go shopping or you do your hair or your nails or something.
So I catch up on life on Saturday. So by Sunday, that's always
a day off.
Not really. It's like just doing what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I don't know.
I feel like Saturday's the day off, and then the Sunday's the stressor day because like, oh no, the Walmart. Monday's tomorrow.
So mine's reversed.
So
Saturday's like an extension of my week, and then by Sunday I try to chill.
Yeah, for me, Monday's my stressor day.
Why? Because
I
you're
think
coming on
it's everyone's
Tuesday?
Stressor's day.
Yeah, Tuesday has become the new Monday for me.
Oh my gosh. All right. How about the Heat game? Sorry, I do have to bring it
There
up.
were 2 games that we
Heat-
saw, Friday and yesterday. The
Friday.
Friday game was unbelievable.
Oh, Game
Boston won
6.
with 3 seconds left.
That was great. Not even 3 seconds, right? It was just the last as it went
They
in.
rounded off to 3. But, the bottom line is, I got to give Boston a lot of credit. They gave it a shot, and they were
100%.
flat yesterday. Boy, my
But
goodness.
they brought it up to an even game. You got to give them total credit, right? We thought Miami was going to sweep it last week, and they didn't.
They didn't fall flat. It's just Jason Tatum, their best player.
Hurt himself?
First play of the game, he hurts himself. He goes down. He goes up to shoot a shot, I think, and he comes down and
He twisted
walls
his
his
ankle.
left ankle.
Yeah, but I don't think 5 Jason Taylors are going to beat Miami yesterday.
But to get it in Boston on the game 7,
I'm looking forward to and again, I finally broke even this week, but I'm looking forward to Denver and the Heat.
that's Thursday, right? The Nuggets?
Yeah, Thursday. I'm telling you right now, the Heat don't stand a chance.
I got a
The
lot of
Nugget-
money on Heat.
The
Guys,
Nuggets
anyone?
have it in Game 5.
I don't think so.
You like basketball?
Yeah, I didn't see the game last night or.
Well, you didn't see much of a game. That was a blowout last night.
Yeah.
Dylan?
I'll
Basketball?
probably check out the one this week.
Chelsea?
I feel like I would because my family's a big basketball family, and I feel like when I used to come here in the summers all the time, there would always be like the playoffs, and I feel like everyone usually comes around and watches the game, and I feel like if that happens, if I'm old enough, like we can go to Miami because Miami's gonna be like lit, obviously, because everyone's gonna be excited and partying. And I don't know. I feel like I want to try to have fun this year.
So how's it play? They start Thursday in
2
Denver.
games there, 2 games here.
2-2.
Yeah, because Denver has the better seed. They're the 1 seed. in the
We were
West.
what, 8?
No 8th
We're
seed
8th.
has ever won the NBA championship.
Pretty amazing.
I don't think Miami was ever an 8th seed. I think that Miami just had to get it together. And like they say, you get hot. The Phillies got hot. They made it all the way to the World Series.
I wanted to go to the Panthers Stanley Cup game. Prices for that is the cheapest one's like $520.
That's crazy.
What?
Wow.
But it should be.
No, because the Eastern Conference Finals, the series before the Stanley Cup was only like $150, $140.
Yeah, but now they're in.
I don't. Yeah, I know, but 140 to 520. That's a little bit.
In
of
New York, it's
difference.
5,000 to see the Rangers play
For
per
the
ticket.
cheapest seat. Not
That's
for the cheapest.
insane.
Cheapest seats. I gotta tell you, you sit home and you spend $100 on food and drink, and you get the best seat in the house.
No. You want to feel the atmosphere. You
Yeah,
want to feel the
atmosphere.
crowd.
I'm gonna tell you, I
The-
seen those games, and all I ever got was a headache, and some guy with his big elbow hitting me in the face when they scored a run, or everybody crying if the home team loses.
You
Yeah.
loved when we went to the Marlins game, though.
No, I
Honestly,
didn't
just-
like it.
I'd just be bored, honestly.
You?
Yeah.
But the Panthers and the Heat, you got to give them a lot of credit. You got to give South Florida a lot of credit for doing what they're doing in sports.
It's just unheard of.
I'm not a big sport. I'm
Bless
not
you.
really like a big sports person. Oh, bless you. I'm not really like a big sports person. That's why.
It's just unheard of what was going on, what is going on in professional sports. It's just crazy. And did you see how the Miami Dolphin quarterback, what's his name, Tua, got disrespected again over the weekend?
Is he going to play, you think?
Yeah, he's playing.
He's playing, but they didn't even consider him because the AFC East now has nothing but quarterbacks. They didn't even list him, which is really insulting. Tua's a good quarterback, and when he plays, they win. It's not his fault. He gets body slammed all over the place,
They all got body slam.
and he's small.
Basketball sounds like fun, man.
Huh?
Basketball
That's
sounds
football.
like
We're
fun.
talking about football
That's
now.
football, but that's good.
It was a good try.
Thank you.
How was your weekend?
I stayed home and vegetated watching movies and stuff.
I was going to say, what movie did you see?
What movie didn't I see?
How
I
do you
saw a lot
stay
of movies.
awake? I did watch the season finale of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes. Sounds good.
OMG is all I can tell anyone who has seen it. Did you watch
No,
the end of it?
I did.
Her monologue?
Yeah, it was beautiful. I don't know. It's like you should watch it. It's like not boring. Like no.
I'm telling you.
It's so good
Now watching
because
it.
she finally got her big break, and that's how she like brought down the star. And her and Susie are back to being friends because they're family. They love each other. I don't know.
But the clothes and the sets.
I feel like you would love the clothes. Like the way she dressed.
Oh my
like, She
gosh.
always had an outfit every single day, and it never like. And that added to her character because no matter where she was, she always dressed for the part. She always dressed for the occasion.
I heard she got a star already on the Walk of Fame.
It's a temporary, like it's like an honorary star, but it's the Mrs.
Really?
Maisel. It's not Rachel.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a chick flick.
It's
Not
not.
Not a chick flick.
It's not at all. It's
a
It won an
comedy
Emmy.
series.
I went to see my father at the Movies Del Rey with De Niro.
mm.
Hilarious.
How was it?
It's
Was it?
hilarious, but I don't know if they will enjoy it because it's senior humor.
That's
It's
an
about
old,
father?
The
yeah,
senior
you're talking
humor?
about chick flick. That's an old man movie.
it's not an old man
It's
movie
an
because
old man movie.
his son isn't old. His son is young, and he was talking about the differences between his father and a younger man.
It's an old man movie.
It's not an old man movie. I think it was really done.
You said it's a senior movie.
It has senior moments in it, like things
you a
that we
senior?
laugh about that they don't even know about. You know, I was having a conversation with Gio the other day, and there are things that he doesn't know that I lived through. And how do you explain it and not lose the punchline?
You can't always explain it. Got to live it, right?
That's the problem. But it's a good movie. I highly recommend it. It's entertaining. It was funny.
Morning.
I saw Birdman Friday. It's on HBO. That is a good movie.
What's Birdman?
Birdman, or the unexpected story of virtue, the
The
unexpected
virtue of ignorance.
the virtue of ignorance. Yeah.
Who's that?
The virtue of ignorance. Now
Yeah.
that's a topic.
Just the way it's shot is beautiful because everything is just one continuous shot throughout the whole entire film.
What's it
Virtue of
about?
ignorance.
About an old man.
Is it?
It's about an actor that played a superhero back in the day for this movies, and he's trying to make it big again, but in theater now on Broadway. So he made his own Broadway, and it just talks about each person's different story. It's kind of cool.
But think about the virtue of ignorance. I love that line actually. You know they say ignorance is bliss. If you don't know what you don't know,
And you
then
don't know
you
it.
don't know, and then it's all good. It's when you know things that aggravate you that if you didn't know, you wouldn't be aggravated. So the virtue of ignorance.
You want to repeat that? No, I'm kidding.
You know what they say? If you don't know, you don't know. Sometimes, then you live in peace and bliss because you don't realize certain things. It's when you realize things could go wrong, or you realize
Well, let me-
something else.
Well, then let me ask a question. Do you live by certain rules of words that you come up with? Like, does the word can't ever come into your vocabulary? You ever get up and say, I can't do this, or I can't do that? Is that the way you start your day? Or is everything is, yes, I'm going to do, I can do, I will do, I will find a way? Which is it?
You gotta think of the way of Wu Wei, W-U.
So when you get up, how do you
W-E-I.
think?
The virtue of ignorance in the
Uh,
Wu way.
When
don't-
you get up this morning, how did you think?
You don't think, you just do.
So is there anything you think you can't do?
Definitely.
I think that's what happened with the Heat game last night. I was thinking about it as I was watching it. They weren't thinking they were doing because if they actually got in their heads as to what shot they were, I mean, they have to strategize,
They
but
couldn't hit the side
they
of a
had
barn
to
last
just
night.
do.
I saw there was a video that says, "Don't be a musician, just go play music. Don't be an artist."
But how
just-
can you
just go-
separate
just
that?
go
That's a
draw
good point, but can you separate it?
by just doing it.
So if you got up this morning knowing that you had to talk in front of 50,000 people, can you do it?
I could probably do it. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the greatest speech in the world
Why?
because my body goes on complete meltdown.
But
and
what do
that's
you
nothing
think?
I can control.
But what do you? If it is something you can control because you already dictated.
You've gotten
it's
so
gonna
much
be a
better.
complete meltdown.
You've gotten so much. So I know. He's gotten better.
Can you do it?
Sure.
Are you
can
gonna have a
try.
meltdown?
I thought I heard Worsey.
Yeah, I think they're setting up her computer.
Okay.
Would I have a meltdown? I guess it would depend on which 50,000 people I was talking to.
Why? First of all, you don't even see it. It's all a blur.
Because it was 50,000 people that are talking about thugs and gangs and paying off and politicians and the debt ceiling, I might have a nervous breakdown. It was
Like-
50,000 people that want to be empowered and speak their voice, then no. It depends who I'm speaking in front of.
Well, it depends. I guess it just depends on the subject for me.
Exactly.
Like what's it about? Like,
If
is
they
it-
pick a subject out of a hat and you stand up there, can you do it?
Oh, I could try my best.
You think I would ever give you an easy answer?
No.
No.
But you know the bottom line is that you are deceiving yourself into believing you can't, as opposed to deceiving yourself.
No, I think we all can. It's just the level of
that's the ignorance.
anxiety
Yeah.
of what you can.
But they have your ignorance. That's
I don't
it.
think that's ignorance.
If you stay ignorant, you could do anything. Is what I think what that whole sign is about.
Dylan, what does that mean?
The virtue of ignorance.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, in the context of the movie, it even like, I can't even like think. It's really. I like your reading of it.
You don't
I
know
think
what you
there's
don't
a
know?
I think there's a difference between ignorance and naivete. Maybe.
Well, that's a good word.
True.
Yeah.
True.
In the movie, he's also battling himself because he, like I said, he played this huge superhero that everyone fell in love with back in like the quote unquote 70s or 80s because people will come up to him like, "Oh my God, you're Birdman." But the people that come up to him are in like their 50s, around there, so, like they watched as a kid kind of thing. So he's battling this mind inside to him, which is the voice of Birdman that he played back in the day, and he's also battling back and forth with these inner thoughts inside him. And that's the ignorance saying, oh, you can still do this, oh, you can still do Birdman, oh, you can still do all this stuff. But he's trying to go over here and meditate and calm himself down and believing into what he can believe, not just Birdman.
Well, there are certain actors like Pirates of the Caribbean. What was his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, who also said, Seinfeld said that they portrayed their characters and it became them. They started to live their characters because they thought that that produced a better product. And then it got out of hand. Johnny Depp really got out of hand more than Seinfeld. But the funny thing about this thing is if you positively believe that you could deliver something and you're ignorant about its failure or its success, you'll always be great at it because you're not judging yourself.
I think you're using the word ignorant wrong.
Yeah, I don't think you can be ignorant about your success. I think what you don't know, you don't know. This way, you just do.
If you don't know what success is, are you ignorant? Or you just,
I feel like it's oblivious.
I
Where
agree.
It's like when you're oblivious about something, because like let's say I walk into the room and I'm like, I'm just gonna do X, Y, and Z, because you're just oblivious about how things people will react to X, Y, and Z, because you're just like so like passionate about it. You're just doing it. Like when you're just waking up and doing art, you're not like ignorant about you're doing art. You're
but do you
oblivious
think
about
about what you're doing because of what's in front of you?
Well, I think ignorant is like when you know you don't know something and yet you follow through with it anyway.
So when you get on stage and you do what you're supposed to do, is
Probably
it
Walmart.
ignorance or is it nervousness or is it,
I don't think
what
it's
is
either. It's like it's if you're going on stage and you're knowing what you're doing, you're prepared. You're just
Thank
ready
you.
to go. You're excited.
Doing
I don't
your
know.
thing.
You're doing your thing. Like I said, like it's not ignorance. I feel like when I think of ignorance as kind of a bad thing, and also a thing that people don't know. So like if you're going through life like politically and you don't know something, that's kind of ignorant for you to not say something like politically correctness, politically incorrectness. Or like if you're like a little kid and you say something stupid, but you don't know it's stupid, you're kind of being ignorant, but in a way that like you don't know. So I think it's different words you're trying to.
but I think ignorance is just a lack of
That's the
knowledge.
lady from Walmart?
No, there's somebody else. In there.
Okay.
What's the other lady?
I don't know.
Did you ask her what her name is?
I know that her husband Anthony is coming.
Oh, that's Chef.
Ah, yes.
Chef Anthony.
Chef. I think that the ignorance, the virtue of ignorance is that you could virtually be not knowing. It's a very nice way of not learning fear. That's the way I view it. I'd
See,
rather be
ignorance is
ignorant.
different than being an idiot,
Yeah, it's not the same.
right?
Not the same.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, Mrs.
Um,
Maisel talked about, right, the girlfriend was an idiot because she talked to plastic plants.
Plastic plants? Wait, which
Well,
girl?
why
Mrs.
is she an
Maisel.
idiot?
So there's a difference between being an idiot, which I think is a bad word, and ignorant, right?
When you're a quote unquote idiot, it's just you don't know. You really don't know. But ignorant is when you're so head honcho on knowing something,
Oh, you don't.
but you're wrong. You're just
Well, let me
completely
ask you a
wrong.
question. Is
Really?
it a bad thing to talk to plastic plants?
No.
It's just like, okay.
Is it
It's-
stupid
it's-
to do that?
No,
If-
it's
if there were
odd.
bad side
but
effects, then
But why is it odd? Isn't it odd to talk to any plant?
no,
No.
plants are living creatures.
So if I think that plastic plants are living creatures, does that make me ignorant or stupid?
I don't know. I water the plastic ones out there sometimes 'cause I feel like they need some love. So, you know, you just,
I
They
feel
need
like
to be
uh,
spruced.
hey,
I
they
feel
need a little
like-
sprucing up.
It's more oblivious because you're like, you think it's a real
Good morning.
plant, oh, okay.
I was playing Mario the other day. Ew.
She's that way.
Okay.
We're on the air.
Say good morning. Good morning, Chef.
Hi.
So is it easier to say one is ignorant or is it easier to say one is stupid?
It all depends on the
I'd
topic of
rather say
conversation.
stupid.
I'd rather say ignorant. You see, because I can't stand the word stupid. I don't think anybody's stupid. Lack of information, lack of understanding doesn't make you stupid. It just means you don't have enough.
that's like
To
when
make
you
a
don't
decision.
have any other comeback. You're just like, well, you're stupid. Like,
That's a
there's
dead
so
end.
many better words.
And-
Ignorant means lacking knowledge or awareness in general,
Correct.
uneducated or unsophisticated. Lacking the knowledge is ignorant.
See, when people like drink a lot, they like that makes them kind of like whoa, woozy.
And then I could say that every diabetic is ignorant. Every diabetic is ignorant because we don't know
All right, you want to hear stupid
What
versus
we eat.
ignorance?
to get us sick.
Ignorance versus stupid?
Okay.
Although ignorance and stupidity are often used in similar ways, This is according to dictionary.com. They have different nuances. Ignorance is simply the lack of knowledge, either in general or about a specific issue or topic. Stupidity refers to the lack of an ordinary level of intelligence, wit, or quickness of mind.
So one is
Yeah, they
one is,
seem
one
similar
is
to me.
Stupid is the way you,
You
I think,
just-
treat things, and I think ignorant is not knowing things.
No, when they say stupid, it just means that you're slow at picking things up.
I don't buy
Stupidity,
that.
they say, is a lack of ordinary level of intelligence, like turning the light on, maybe how to turn the sink on, like normal things. Ignorance is a lack of knowledge
Yeah, but what's the definition
about a
of normal?
specific issue or topic. So if you ask me about the debt ceiling, I might be ignorant in knowing what they're trying to pass this
But
weekend.
you're not stupid because
Yeah,
you
that
don't
makes
know
more
it.
sense.
But I'm not stupid because I know that I got to pay the bills. I know we got to turn on the lights. I know we got people coming. We got to show up on time. So
I don't
basic
think,
things.
I don't think stupid has a place in our society.
You
I
don't
think
like
that's
that
just
word.
name calling. I think it's one of the problems that we have is that we use words to define us. All of a sudden, I'm either Superman or I am stupid man.
all right. So is it up to
What's
us
Superwoman?
to educate Hot Wheels in the house? How you doing? Good. She keeps smiling.
You brought your walker?
I like the jacket.
Ha! She's very sensitive about that.
I will bring maybe tomorrow, but
Yes, bring.
I was coming from the doctor's appointment, so
Perfect.
I cannot carry it.
You have an extra walker somewhere? I think I have a walker somewhere.
I don't have an extra walker, but I have my walker and I can carry that.
I had the
They
pleasure of
chose
having
focus on
dinner at Royce's house Friday night for Shabbat dinner, which was amazing, which was lovely. So I got to see a glimpse into how much this beautiful young woman can actually do. Now I told her she's in trouble. Because now I know all she can do way more than she lets us know.
But I won't be in trouble.
She's not in trouble. But it was lovely. I got to meet your sister. If you, this one smiles, her sister smiles all the time. But it was very nice, so thank you for that.
Do you celebrate
Anytime.
Shabbos?
And anyone in here is welcome to come. Anytime.
Her mom made enough food for all of you. Her mom made enough food to feed 12 people.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Am I right? There was a
Yeah.
ton of food.
Because it's Shabbat dinner.
It was Shabbat dinner. So it was lovely, yes. So
Wait.
they invited anyone at any time.
Do you celebrate Shabbos like fully, where you don't you do any tasks? You kind of just sit, you read books. You don't like turn on any lights, turn off any lights, like more Orthodox way, or
Yes, but no. Like,
Sometimes.
normally it's like that, but I'm watching TV.
You're not supposed to watch TV. You're not supposed to turn TV on and off.
I know. I know. But,
Like I said.
Modern conveniences. But you guys don't drive, you stay home.
yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I got a question. If I use a clap on and it turns the TV on, is that okay?
No, it's not. Still, it's not.
It's still not good?
no,
Okay.
to spark electricity.
I tried. What if you leave it on?
You can do
Never
that.
turn it off?
The day before.
You can do that.
Week before. Can you do that?
Somebody, sometimes people do that, but that's not correct way also.
Shortcuts never amount to much.
So like one thing is like there's Shabbos lights, so like they have the light already on and they open back and forth when it's like nighttime, and then like they pre-rip the toilet paper because they can't rip anything either, or like they leave like a warming drawer on so they don't turn it on Shabbos. So it's just different ways that you turn it on, but you can't like spark the electricity yourself during the hours that are Shabbos.
It's an interesting. Do you do this?
No, my grandfather used to though.
And you don't do it? Does your parents do it?
No.
I kind of like the discipline on it. Can't you do it?
But you know what's kind of nice is if you know that day of the week, whatever it is, whether your Sabbath is Sunday or Saturday, if you actually honor the Sabbath and you take that day of rest and you're not texting, you're not on your computer, and you actually honor what it is, and everyone around you is doing the same thing, then you feel as if you've actually had a day of rest and prayer and honoring that which you believe in.
You know, it's funny. When I was growing up, my father knew landlords in New York City, and they were all Jewish, and some were Orthodox, some weren't. But it was that Jewish culture that, since I was a kid, that I noticed how hard you guys strive at the things that you do, the remembrance. the work ethic, how hard they do to do for their kids and for their daughters. And unless you understand what that discipline is, unless you see it, because I saw it every day when I worked with him, you have to admire it. You gotta say, man, I wish my Latino community had that discipline. You know, we take siestas, sort of break the monotony too much, but among the Jews, they are consistent, and they battle to keep that consistency. And I gotta tell you, I gotta tip my hat. It is not easy sometimes doing some of the things that you do on a consistent basis, and then to teach your kids and have their kids learn it as well, and on and on and on. The tradition of doing certain things. And it says a lot about a culture when you can do that. I mean, it's changed.
But it was really nice to watch your family and to watch how they bless each. Their dad did the prayers in Hebrew, and then he would put his hands on each girl and he gave them blessings, and then he put on your mom and he blessed her. It was really nice to see the family come together, to know that you do this every Friday night. Like, this is what it means.
And people explain to you everything that they're doing.
They would, yeah.
Among Catholics, we always bless the food before we ate it. They say the prayer
You did that as well.
But nobody ever explained why. To me, anyway. It wasn't until I started doing the show that I started telling about frequency and the reason that you do certain things and how it changes everything. That changed for me. And I'm amazed because I learned everything that I grew up with now being an adult. I took it for granted and just did it. You know, I just sat there and when they held hands and somebody said the prayer.
But I gotta tell you, there was so much food, everything was delicious.
Thank you.
And your mom, they said, anytime anyone wants to come, they said the door's always open,
Yeah.
which was really very, very
Do
sweet.
you guys keep kosher?
Yes.
Oh, what? How come some pickles are kosher and some pickles aren't?
The way they made.
It depends
Yeah.
where they're
It's from a
made.
cucumber.
Yeah.
How can a cucumber and vinegar be kosher or not kosher?
The vinegar, if it's from the grapes, it can be kosher or not kosher.
Really?
And then also
There you
the
go.
factories they do it in, because not all factories are kosher, which is why some brands of things are kosher, some brands are not kosher. It's like where it's made and if it has a kosher certification. So a rabbi went in, they checked out everything, and they said, okay, this is good, you can put a certification on it. So it depends what factory it is as well.
It's like you can't mix the meat.
Well, that
with
I know, but you
but
wonder
the,
about
But the
pickles,
rabbi
right?
said you could. You
No.
see? Oh yes, the one.
No, he told you could have mayonnaise because
Mayonnaise.
mayonnaise is from eggs.
Right.
It's just
But
not
they said
culturally
no,
a thing
I
that we
couldn't
do.
When I went to the deli.
Ever put mayonnaise on meat?
Yeah.
You have?
Turkey sandwich. It's a thing.
Roast? Ever put mayonnaise on
Tuna.
roast beef?
Roast beef sandwich. You ever put mayonnaise in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever have
What
like
kind
a,
of lady over here?
Why?
do you guys ever
They
have a
told me
drink
I
with your
couldn't.
sandwich?
A what?
I went
drink
to a
with your
Jewish
sandwich?
deli. They
Sure.
said no, we
Like
don't
an
give
alcoholic one?
mayonnaise with our roast beef.
I don't know, probably.
And he got mad at me.
Tequila too?
If they put milk in it, they don't.
No,
they
there's no
won't
milk in
feel, but,
mayonnaise.
I don't know. We made it in our house and we put it without milk.
There
No,
you
there's
go.
no milk in
You can go
mayonnaise.
eat at our house then.
No, I'm just saying that guy got mad at me. Remember I told you, well, can I go outside to eat it? And then he really got mad at me. But I was just kidding, but I really wanted mayonnaise.
A whole lot of things to figure out.
Do you guys want to see what's on today's menu for Tequila Tuesdays?
That's right, it's Tuesday. Let's see it.
What's on Tequila Tuesday?
Let's see what we got cooking for Tequila Tuesday. Should we make some, Josh?
Yeah.
We don't have any of that.
I'll go get some from.
There's a
Publix.
liquor store down the street.
Is that vodka and white rum?
Yep,
Do we have white rum?
we might.
Malibu?
Isn't white rum just rum?
Malibu.
It's like one of them.
It's lighter.
Oh, you know, that's what liquor stores are for.
Blue
What's
Curacao.
sweet and sour fruit to garnish? What
Sweet.
is that?
Any kind of fruit you want
It's
on
like
it.
a pineapple, you know
Oh,
what
is
I'm
that
saying?
the topping stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pineapple,
Oh, okay.
orange.
Looks like a cherry. Looks like there's a cherry there too.
What's blue Caraco?
Blue curacao is a
Curacao.
vodka, as a liqueur.
Liqueur. It's good stuff.
We might have some of
We
that.
might have some of that.
Do you remember Amy Minty and when they made that drink? the Scarlet, which was blue, so it wasn't red like Scarlet. And she made it for Slick. Slick was like you, who could never really handle his drinks. I don't even know if he made it home that day.
I don't know why
I
she
think
would
he
say
ate
that
and
about
he had
you,
like
but
ran
okay.
because we've seen Josh.
I'm terrible.
It's not a bad thing.
You should stop putting things in his head.
Blue curacao?
Don't touch me. I know I'm bad at drinking.
No, you're not bad at
No, you're
drinking.
perfectly
It's
where you
terrible.
need to be at drinking. We don't want you being
Yeah.
immune. You're
There's no such
exactly
thing
where
as
you
good
need
at
to
drinking.
be.
It's just
Oh my God,
drinking.
you and my brother both. You guys are both such lightweights.
All right, you ready to wrap this up? We got a theater full of people.
Let's wrap it up.
More to come. Happy Tuesday, everyone. We hope you had a restful day and paid honor to all of those men and women that have served our country and fought for this great land that we live in. So more to come on the Midday Show, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. My mug is empty, and you know what that means.
I think it means it's time for a coffee refill.
As we prepare for other shows here at the Amp Media Production Studios.
Tune in for more fun and laughs at 12 o'clock for our afternoon show.
And remember to like, follow, and subscribe on our page.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe and be kind to each other.
And don't be late.